This is going to be another video payback to the do-it-yourself community on YouTube on a welding cart or a TIG welder. Now I can't show you building it because I built it back in the 1980s, but I can show you some of the features on it, and you may want to consider if you're building a welding cart for your welder, TIG welder. So we'll start off with unloading the tank. It's empty. I need to go get me some more iron on. By the way, it's got a bath. I cleaned it up. First time ever I guess I've ever cleaned everything. Well, I didn't clean everything. Cleaned it up for YouTube. I've got these handles that pull out on each side. It makes a little ramp, and I can just walk this tank down that ramp. As you can see, I didn't practice. It's been a while. Home shop doesn't use much argon. There's the tank out. Now these clear tubes on this side of the machine are for seeing the flow of the water. Turn it on, you see the water filled up to here. And then all of a sudden here, you can see a little stream of it running down through here. You can also see a stream right here. So you know you got water. Now that's a tank, would probably hold about 12 gallons of water. It's all stainless. You don't need one that big. Let me go get a tape measure and I'll measure. I said you don't need one that big. I don't need one that big because I don't TIG weld with it hour after hour after hour. But it's 18 inches by 18 inches square, and it's about 10 inches deep. And I think I've only had to put water in it one time since the mid-1980s. So, the other thing is, good thing that I cleaned it up because I found features on it I forgot all about. And I'll begin to show some of those. There's a fitting in the top center of the tank for an air vent. I think it's got a little bronze breather like thing on it. In other words, dirt can't get in, but air can come and go. Then there's a little air filter. Behind the air filter there's a little car heater core, and then behind that is a old washing machine motor, I think it was. It has a shaft out both ends of it. On one end, underneath that fan guard, that piece of aluminum, there's a fan. And then on the other end, there's a pump. And I forgot all about having the pressure gauge on it. We'll go over and take a look at that side of it. I'll turn it back on. Yep, that's pressure. I forgot all about that. Then the tank on this side has some fittings. It's got a place where you can fill it, and then a sight tube. I don't know if you can see it, but the fluid level's right there. It stays right there decade after decade, and it's fluid too. I can jostle it around. I actually even took this apart one time and dropped it down to make sure that was the fluid level and it wasn't just coloration in the tube, and that's the fluid. So no more than I use it, it don't it don't use much water. I guess as it evaporates, it condensates on the top and just drips back into the tank, recycles. Got a little ecosystem going there. Now this is kind of a busy end of the cart. These are handles, they're knurled. You wouldn't have to do that, but anyway, they're knurled, you know, for running the thing around. But at the same time, they're places to wind the hose up. And then there's a little tray down here to put the foot pedal on. So I think that's pretty much it. Only other thing I got is this block. It's got foam on the bottom so it don't touch the welding table. And then I guess you call it a broom keeper or something. You can get those at McMaster Car. You got to buy a box of them though. But anyway, that holds the torque, so you know where it's at. I guess the only other thing to show you maybe is the welding table. And I'll be done with this. Hopefully it helps somebody. The TIG welding table, right now it's got a silver solder job on it. But I use this vise quite a bit. It's adjustable every which way you want to go. Put a metal base on it so it conducts the electric current. And I also took the plastic jaws out and put steel ones in with a step on it so you can hold little thin plates. Then if you're doing real close welding like I used to do with the tool on mold inserts and stuff, this allows you another level to put something a little taller on. Now one table I built for a company I used to work for, they Blanchard grounded. And I'd take an indicator on a little surface gauge and I'd indicate one side of a blade that went in a mold die and find out zero, set that aside. Then I'd TIG weld on the opposite side of the blade where the wear was, and then I'd go to the side to weld up the wear, and then I'd keep checking it with an indicator until I got it back up to zero. So I know there's fancier welders nowadays, but in my day that was about the best we had. The last thing I guess is the TIG welding rod stand. It's just a piece of steel and some electrical, I don't know even what you call that stuff, got holes in it, and it made a nice little thing to put my tool steel welding rods in, as well as the stainless and cold roll rods. The only last feature I'll mention is that pan right there. Now on the one that I built for the company I used to work for, I made a stainless steel funnel, and as you snip the ends off the tool steel rod, they'd automatically go in that pan every time. Now I don't use that pan anymore, but that's pretty much my welding setup. Hopefully this has helped to somebody. I'm getting ready to put my tank back on the welding cart, and I noticed that this 10-inch channel iron, I had to mill out the round that was in the corner. So and then looked like 10 3/4 channel iron that fits up over it, kind of closes it up. But anyway, I happened to notice that milling there. So of course this is just sawed out up here, and that's 10-inch channel iron too. So much for that.